Oh, hello. I'm live. I'm alive. Well, a friend of mine passed away last night, and he'd had some cancer treatment for his mouth and throat, and then when he got it all sorted out, he just started drinking and smoking again. But I had like another friend, and when he was in his, I think he was 52, and he had the same thing. He had a throat cancer. He had his voice box removed, and he's still alive now. He's 89 this year because he had a very strong will to live. Even last year, last year he slipped in hospital. He hit his back, got the flu. In fact, he broke his back. Then he got the flu at 88 years old, and he still came through. And in Italy, I just wondered, are they that blinded by God that they think they can survive? Because there is no God, of course. But they think that they can put their faith in God and they can survive this epidemic. I just, if it looks as though tens of thousands are going to die in Italy. They're still walking about the streets. They're still hugging. It was the film that just explains everything perfectly. And in the end, it just started with one person, Gwyneth Paltrow, a bit of a slag. She went to a Chinese restaurant. She went to China on business or something. But she went to a Chinese restaurant, and the chef was brought out to meet her, and he got blood on his apron. He got from the animal that had been infected, and just true to the story today, they say the same thing today with the this present epidemic or pandemic. It's the same thing. They found like pig and bat mixed together, and when you think about it like these, so the bats can enter these piggeries, if that's what they're called, and they can crap all over the place. and you're getting a pig that's getting infected, then the pig is infecting the human. So these are all these people that say we should protect these bats. Well, maybe I think they should. Maybe not. It's a good idea. They shouldn't protect them if it causes this pandemic. So a long time ago, I worked in timeshare sales. Never buy a timeshare. I worked in timeshare, and the boss, he was an American salesman. This was in New Zealand. I got the job. This was in New Zealand, and they flew us down to Queenstown, one of the world's most beautiful places, and I was doing quite well. But when in the future, should I need a job, will you promise to give me a job? And so we all put our hands up and we promised to give him a job should he need a job in the future. Now this is what I should have done when I help people. Is with my brothers, they had an agreement that if their businesses failed, one business failed, they would share the business. That was their deal. I put my brother up for 8 years in his fucking house. He wouldn't like fucking put me up. He actually charged me for living in his friend's house. His druggy friend owed him 50 quid. My brother, I was on 22 quid a week on the dole. And my brother asked me to pay his fucking heroin addicted friend the £50 that he owed my brother. This is 25 years ago, he was living in a £400,000 house and had £1 million business. And I fucking put him up like about 5 quid a week. 5 quid a week for 8 years. He didn't buy anything for the fucking house. Didn't buy a fucking thing. So, if you're helping someone by giving them a job, lending them a car, putting them up, you say you've got to get the promise out of them because they will fucking shit on you, without a doubt. My own brother fucking shit on me. Brothers, should I say. Well, because I lost someone in New Zealand, I came back and I said to him, I've got nowhere to live. And my brother's wife said, he can't stay here. This is my other brother. I put him up for like I saved his ass twice in Sheffield. Literally 3 times. And one time he was fucking near. I took a fucking beating for him and ended up in hospital nearly dying. And no, I'm not infected, no. So, and I think my friend's problem was with cancer. And same again, people that came to Japan, people with no work, I've given like loads of people jobs at my warehouse. And today someone was, so I said, oh, have you got any money? As soon as I said that, he just fucking stopped answering questions on Facebook. She bent you over the table. Can you elaborate on that, Ed? Well, you probably deserved it, Ed. We have some specials on here. And the other week, for some stupid reason, because they had this steak, it was 1,500 yen. but it was reduced to 999 yen. So I thought, well, I'll try that because I've never eaten a steak here before. Fucking worst decision of my life. Oh, really? Oh, couldn't you? How old was you when your father died? The the people with religion are just cunts. Said majority of them, not all of them, majority of them. The Pope, the Pope, he spoke to God. He said, "I'm going to have a word with God." And then the next day, 600, the most ever died in Italy, 600. 6 months. Are you serious, Ed, or what? So how much did she rip you off? Did she get control of the will or something? How they can fuck each other over like that? I think this present climate, what it shows you, why couldn't you why couldn't you do anything? Did you ever use toilet? Did you ever use it? See, I'm going to make a video later, but I needed this paper. I was going to nick some pepper as well, but they've only got one pepper pot out, so I can't really take that. But I'm going to take some spoons and some salt, maybe some shoyu. Now put it this way, Ed. Did your sister, did she look after your dad in his dying days or something like that? Because I guess like sometimes people that do that, they think they're entitled to like all the money if they've been like spending a lot of time with the parent. I've only got a way, Ed. I haven't got a will. So when they say there was a will, there's a way. Well, I've got the way part. I think it's the fucking way out, actually. There you go. If you were gallivanting all around the world and she were looking after him, I guess she could have at least given you something. Well, my brothers gave her my sister and her daughters, because they were always flying the daughters out to see her in Spain. They must have given her like at least £500,000, and I got I think I've had about 20 grand, something like that. But they promised me 50,000, but that didn't come. I could have just asked my viewers now. Did you ever use newspapers to wipe your arse, or magazines? Yeah. Well, you never know. When she goes, she might leave you something in her will. We certainly didn't have that problem when my father died. And I won't have that problem unless I win on the lottery, of course. But I would, like, I, yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Just ask her, send her a note saying I'd have been happy with 20 grand. This is what like Tony Curtis and who's the other one, Jerry Funny Boy. They cut all their children. They had 5 or 6 kids each, and they cut all their children out of the will. They left them to the last wife. I can't understand how you can be so cruel. Well, just get in there and get that will forged. Unfortunately, Ed, there is no hell, there is no heaven. There's just clotted clones and clotted, clotted scones and whipped cream in Devon, and that's as close as you will get to heaven. Well, then, not only is she an idiot, she's a cruel idiot. Devious. Yeah, well, I suppose they can say they're doing that in God's name. Do you know what I mean? And then, like in. No need to be sorry at all. Nothing wrong with that, pal. There was a priest in. It wasn't a priest, it was a bishop. There was a bishop in Germany that spent like fucking 20 million euros or dollars on his fucking back garden. And when I say back garden, I don't mean like reconstructive surgery on his arse. I mean his real back garden. Fuck, man. That's. Yeah. And is she single, is she? You should have made a clip on the will, Ed. I guess it's too late now. Hang on, I'm just going to take a poo. Be right back. So let's. So last year I was at this festival, and I know this guy called Vinny Vintage, and he's a Canadian rapper of sorts. But like all black dudes in Japan, they always try to tag on to money and Muslims, and the Muslims try to tag on to money. They search it out, and then they marry him and knock him up. I know one cunt, he's got 6 kids, fucking cocaine addict. Anyway, so this guy called Vinny, really nice guy, and I think I went to his wife's store. She was making food, and Vinny was trying to give me something, and he gave me too much or something like that. She fucking went ballistic. She was fucking. He didn't know what to do because she wears the pants because she's fucking paying all the bills and everything, and she went. Couldn't be. She was fucking scary. You know, I wouldn't like to be married to anyone like that. Well, I wouldn't be like married to anyone like that anyway. So. Yeah, I think it's very difficult when you've got like 2 different balances of income. You know, it does happen. You know, and it's worse if the woman has got most financial power because she doesn't really respect the guy. Oh, oh, then there was none. Anyone there? Ragu, ragu. That's a famous French dish. That's when you need a lawyer who's a mate, I guess. Did you ever try talking to her, Ed? Or just fucking when she came out, just sitting behind the head with a fucking shovel, tried to bring her to her senses? Oh dear. There you go. And I guess I guess we know the result of that chat. I'm sure. Well, I'm not sure, but I think that in Ireland. Oh dear. The Bible's just like a collection of little books written by people raised out of the fucking mind. Like in Ireland, you know, when all the priests were fucking little kids, you know, I'm not sure if they all fucking just like they hated the church, and I'm not sure if it like showed them that there wasn't a God. I'm sure it didn't recover the church. If there was a God, he wouldn't allow that kind of thing to happen if there was a God. Because when you you harm a child, whether either by the way you bring them up, or whether you chastise them, or whether you bully them, or whether you sexually harm them. That is in my books. That's the worst crime any person can ever commit. When you harm a child, that's the worst crime. Because not only are you harming that child will grow up and you fuck that child up, and he'll do the same to other some of them will do the same to other children because of the way they were brought up. Yeah, I'd be fucking pretty much pissed off, because you're like being like the son, being like the son. You have I'm sure you was entitled to some. You was entitled to something. But this was reversed. This was reversed in England a few months ago. The son managed to get the father to change the will, and then when it went to court, the son actually reneged, and he ended up giving all the money to the sister. I must admit that's probably quite rare, but a lot of the times, either one, the person is evil who would do that, the brother or sister, or whoever. But I think there's always that thing where someone feels that they're entitled to it because they were doing most for the parent or parents. And there was one in Yorkshire where this young woman, she like looked after her parents from being like 20 years old. Oh yeah, don't fucking help, does it? You should have gone to another church, Ed. Yeah, of course they had interest in the money. They'll fight tooth and nail. Yeah, you should have gone to an opposing church and used their lawyers. Yes, and this woman, she worked all her fucking life, and then when it came to it, the parents, and it could be a similar thing as well. The fucking RSPCA in England, this is for animal charity. They got the parents to sign over the fucking farm and all the property to them after this young woman had spent all her fucking life helping her parents with the farm. And this is why some of these charities, especially the RSPCA, they're fucking PETA, they're evil fucking cunts. Well, you could have started donating, yeah. I guess it's too late now, yeah? I am against the two. Because in my job, I am an ordained minister, as you know, and I looked up on some of these sites. I looked up on some of the sites, the articles, and the ornaments that the priests use. Fucking unbelievably expensive. You know the thing they put the incense in? That one of those like 450 quid just for a little cup. Or I think the last 5 or 6 days I've had a bottle of fucking 300 yen wine. So after this morning's breakfast, I've got about fucking 50 yen left, I think. So I'm waiting on the money from this month's Google, about 13,000 yen. Just wondering whether to. I didn't pay any rent last month, so maybe I should pay some this month. I think they might have actually retired, the landlord and landlady. And I've paid fucking rent there 20 years. I've paid at least fucking 20 million in rent. So the fucking house should be mine. Right, Ed, I'm gonna get off. I'm getting these low battery messages. It's gonna die soon. So I'll see you later, pal. Just buy a lotto ticket. That's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. See you later, pal. Thank you.